Welcome to Book Bites, your weekly dose of literary delight. We dive into Amazon's top-selling books, giving you the lowdown on what's hot and what's not. Join us as we uncover hidden gems, discuss captivating storylines, and analyze the minds of best-selling authors. Whether you're a seasoned reader or just starting your literary journey, there's something for everyone. So grab a cup of coffee, get cozy, and let's get reading.
Okay, so everyone's talking about this anxious generation.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? We hear it everywhere. So we're going to do a deep dive today into this book I've been reading, The Anxious Generation.
Right.
And it's got some really interesting points about like how tech and modern parenting are, kind of like mixing together to impact, kids today.
Yeah.
And it's not just like some, opinion piece. It's like it weaves in some pretty hard research.
Yeah.
It's got some real life stories in there too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And like,
Quite.
I don't know about you, but I was reading some of these and I was just like, oh, wow. Like I've seen that happen.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. So anyway, the book, it kind of goes beyond just saying like,
right.
social media is bad.
Social media bad, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It kind of dives into how
It really digs into,
it's constant connectivity stuff might actually be like rewiring how childhood development happens.
Yeah, that's kind of a scary thought, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Rewiring childhood development.
Rewiring childhood, like what does that even...
I mean, it makes you wonder, like what
Yeah.
are the long-term consequences
Exactly.
of that kind of thing?
So can you give us an example of what that might look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things the book highlights is this concept of fragile perfectionism. And I think this is something we see a lot these days, right?
Yeah.
Kids are growing up with this constant pressure to present
like a perfect image.
a perfect image online. Exactly.
Yeah.
And, that can lead to
a fear of failing.
a real fear of failure in real life
Yeah.
because everything online is so curated. Right. It's
And perfect
it's all
and filtered, exactly.
Yeah.
And so
they're less.
the book argues that this is actually impacting brain development,
Wow.
making them less resilient to setbacks.
Okay, so it's like it's deeper than just feeling bad when like nobody likes your post or something.
Surface level. It's
like their brain is being wired.
Yeah, the actual wiring of their brain.
And the book kind of connects this back to parenting too, right?
Exactly. Right. It brings up this whole
What's going on?
This whole trend of overprotective parenting.
Yeah, overprotective parenting.
Yeah.
What exactly does that even mean?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, what does overprotective even mean?
In this context.
Context, right.
Right.
So the book kind of describes it as this,
it's like this emotional bubble wrapping
right.
where parents try to shield their kids from any discomfort, any risk, right?
Yeah.
They intervene in every little conflict.
Solve every problem.
Solve every problem.
Yeah.
And essentially
prevent
their kids from experiencing even minor setbacks.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And so the argument is that this creates kids who are
more anxious
and less able to cope with challenges on their own.
So it kind of creates this...
It makes them
dependence on adults.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so it's like...
That makes it difficult.
By trying to shield them from everything to navigate the world.
We're actually making them more vulnerable.
Both online and offline.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That's so counterintuitive.
Yeah, it is. It's really counterintuitive.
As a parent,
I think that's what makes
shield them from everything.
Not provoking.
I'm thinking.
It challenges a lot of our
maybe that's not
assumptions about how we raise kids in the digital age, right?
Okay.
I mean, obviously technology has amazing benefits.
Right.
But it also highlights
this other side.
The need to be mindful. Yeah. The potential downsides
that we have
and to equip kids
about
with the tools they need to navigate it in a healthy way.
So how do we equip them? Like, what are the tools?
Well, that's a big question, and I think the book does a good job of starting to answer that.
Okay.
But I think one of the key takeaways is this idea of letting them experience some bumps in the road.
Yeah, even though it makes us...
Even if it makes us
as young parents
uncomfortable, right. Yeah.
And it talks about the socioeconomic aspect too.
Exactly, right.
Like not every family
addresses this
As the means to.
Yeah. A lot of the solutions it proposes, like
Yeah.
limiting screen time, right?
Right.
Or enrolling kids in
Again.
extracurrcurricular activities that build resilience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those can be difficult for families.
If you're struggling with financial constraints.
Yeah. It's going to be a harder thing to do.
It acknowledges that those families face unique challenges and emphasizes the need for broader societal support to help all kids thrive.
So it's like a whole
Bell rib
web of things, right? It's
simple fix. Technology and parenting and economic realities, like it's not
a complex, multifaceted issue.
Just one thing.
But the good news is understanding these connections
understanding
is the first step towards creating a healthier environment for young people.
Okay, so what I'm taking away from this is that maybe it's not about just demonizing tech or judging parents.
Yeah.
You know?
It's about being...
Maybe it's about being more conscious
of the choices we make.
The choices we're making...
Both as individuals.
As individuals.
And as a society.
And how they affect kids.
Those choices impact the next generation.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah. So thinking about that.
Yeah.
What small changes...
What could you...
make in your own life, maybe in how you interact with the young people around you to help them develop. The
resilience and coping skills.
That they're going to need.
They need.
Right.
Makes you think, huh?
Even small shifts in how we use technology. How we communicate.
Right.
How we approach challenges. Can make a difference.
Wow. I like that.
Right.
I'm getting kind of hopeful.
Yeah.
You know?
That's good.
Like by having these conversations and understanding this stuff, maybe we can raise a generation that's not just connected, but like really thriving.
Thriving, yeah. That's the goal.
So thanks for walking us through.
Well, thanks for having me.
This deep dive.
That's
been really a lot of interesting conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here.
Thanks again.
All right, take care.
Bye.
That's all for this episode of Book Bites. We hope you enjoyed our review, and if you did, please like, share, and follow our podcast. And don't forget to leave a comment with your thoughts on the book. We love hearing from our listeners.